On the stained sidewalk of Manila, a boy with no shoes and a voice like crushed velvet just made Simon Cowell cry. But it is what the judges discover about him 30 seconds before he sings that will leave 50 million viewers unable to speak. The story begins not in a sparkling auditorium, but in the humid, chaotic streets of Quiapo, Manila, where the jeepneys spew black smoke and the vendors shout over each other to sell fried bananas and second-hand clothes. Here, a 15-year-old boy named Mateo navigates the crowd with a worn-out backpack, its zipper broken and held shut by a safety pin. He is barefoot, his feet calloused and tough from years of walking on hot pavement and jagged stones. He stops by a small radio playing outside a carinderia, the local eatery, listening to a song he has heard 1,000 times. He closes his eyes, and for a moment, he is not in the middle of the street. He is somewhere else, somewhere quiet, where only the music exists. Mateo has a secret. Every night, when the city finally quiets and his mother falls asleep in their cramped shanty by the railway tracks, he sneaks out to the nearby cemetery. There, under the flickering light of a single lamppost, he sings. He sings to the stray dogs and the sleeping souls, his voice echoing off the marble tombs. It is the only place he can practice without being mocked, the only place where his voice feels like it belongs to something larger than his poverty. His mother, Aling Rosa, works as a laundry woman, her hands perpetually raw and wrinkled from the soap. She has sacrificed everything for her son, often going without food so Mateo can have a little rice. She knows about his dream, the dream of becoming a singer, but she fears it. Dreams are dangerous for people like them, she thinks. Dreams lead to disappointment. But Mateo sees an advertisement for a major international talent show holding auditions in Manila. The grand prize is a recording contract and 1,000,000 pesos. It is more money than he can fathom. He knows he has no nice clothes, no formal training, and certainly no money for a registration fee. But he also knows the audition is free. He decides, with the quiet desperation of someone who has nothing left to lose, that he will go. The day of the audition arrives. Mateo tells his mother he is going to help a friend. He walks for 2 hours to the huge convention center. Standing outside, he looks like a ghost amidst the crowd of hopefuls dressed in their stylish best, accompanied by parents holding water bottles and cheering them on. Security eyes him suspiciously. A girl in a sequined dress snickers, pointing at his bare feet. When his number is called, he walks onto the massive stage. The lights are so bright they burn his eyes. He sees the 3 judges, international celebrities he has only ever watched on a crackly television screen at the Sari Sari store. He grips the microphone, his small hand shaking. The head judge, a famously blunt British man, looks at his clipboard. He asks, with a tone of mild annoyance, "Mateo, it says here you have no formal training. And you're barefoot. Why?" Mateo takes a breath. He looks down at his dirty feet against the polished stage. He decides, in that moment, to tell the truth. He tells them about the streets. He tells them about the laundry soap. He tells them about his father, a construction worker who died in an accident when Mateo was 7. He tells them about singing in the cemetery because it is the only quiet place in the city. The studio audience has gone completely silent. The British judge's eyes have softened. But then, the twist arrives. The youngest judge, a famous pop star, leans forward. She has tears in her eyes, but she asks a question that is not on the form. "Mateo, you mentioned your father. What was his name?" Mateo swallows. "His name was Mateo, too. Mateo Reyes." The pop star gasps. The color drains from her face. She looks at the other judges, then back at the boy. She stands up, her hand trembling as she points at him. "Your father," she whispers into the microphone, her voice breaking. "He died on the corner of Recto Avenue and Rizal Avenue, hit by a truck that ran a red light." Mateo's eyes widen. "How do you know that?" he asks, his own voice now a whisper. "Because," she says, walking around the judge's table and stepping onto the stage to stand beside him. "Because I was the one driving the truck. It was my first day driving in Manila. I was lost. I was scared. I ran the light. I have lived with that guilt every single day for 8 years. I started a foundation in his name. I've been looking for you and your mother to beg for your forgiveness." The audience erupts into chaos. People are crying, hands are over mouths. The British judge is wiping his eyes with a handkerchief. The pop star, whose real name is revealed to be Isabella Cruz, a Filipina-American singer, turns to face the stunned boy. She takes his hands. "I never meant to," she sobs. "I've donated so much, but I could never find you. I am so sorry." Mateo stands frozen, 1,000 emotions crossing his face. He looks at this woman, rich and famous, who holds the key to his family's tragedy. The silence stretches for an eternity. Then, Mateo does something no one expects. He pulls his hands away, gently. He looks at the judge's table, at the audience, at Isabella. He speaks, his voice clear as a bell. "You gave us nothing," he says. "But my mother gave me everything. She taught me to forgive." He turns to Isabella. "I don't hate you. But I need you to hear this song. It's for my father. It's the song he used to hum to me before he went to work." The band, also stunned, scrambles to find the key he requests. Mateo closes his eyes. He opens his mouth, and he begins to sing an old, traditional Filipino kundiman, a song of love and longing. His voice is not just beautiful, it is pure, raw, and filled with the weight of every stone he has stepped on, every hunger pang he has felt, and every tear his mother has hidden from him. It is the sound of a broken heart learning to beat again. When he finishes, there is not a dry eye in the house. Isabella is sobbing uncontrollably. The British judge hits the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rains down on Mateo, who looks up at it, not with the joy of winning, but with the quiet peace of finally being heard. In that moment, the boy from the Manila streets, standing on the golden stage, proves that the deepest pain can sometimes create the most beautiful music. Thank you for watching. Before you go, tell us in the comments, from which part of the country are you watching this video today? We read every single one.